Hi, my name is Vanessa. I live in the upstate part of South Carolina, and before I continue saying anything else, if you are easily offended or very narrow or closed-minded, just exit off this video and disregard anything I say because you're not going to listen anyway. This is something that I feel very strongly about and that I wanted to get off my chest just so I could have a little bit of peace of mind and just to share this story with anybody that's willing to watch. So, that being said, here goes. A couple weeks ago I was in Walmart with a friend of mine, and she had forgotten something, so she went back to go get it, and so I held her place in line. Well, while I'm sitting in line, of course, there's at least one person that'll turn around and talk to you, say hi, or make awkward conversation. Well, this guy turns around and starts making small talk with me, and let me just go ahead and say the people I deal with normally are very conservative from where I'm from. They're not very open to most things in general, and I know that I'm going to go ahead and make a generalization, so you know what you are, you know what you're not. So anyway, I'm standing in line and I'm talking to this guy, making small talk with this guy, and I started to just ignore him again, piddling around on my phone, just to make an awkward situation less awkward for me. And he starts making these snide comments. And at first I thought he was just talking in general. Well, then I realized that he's talking about a gay couple that is two people in front of me. They're checking out and, you know, not doing anything, not being lovey-dovey, not anything. They weren't hiding being gay either. So, he made these snide comments, and I'm not going to repeat those because they were just very offensive. But needless to say, I made a choice to speak up and say something to the person that was harassing them. And we went at it in the middle of this line while we're waiting, and it just made me think, like, nobody else in that line said anything. Not the cashier, nobody. They just sat there and watched while this guy was making these people feel inferior. I couldn't get out of my head the way the couple looked. One in particular, he kept his head down and he was piddling with his hands. You could tell he was really nervous, anxious. He was just ready to get the fuck out, which I don't blame him at all. And I started to think, like, how could you not say anything? How could you sit back and let somebody be harassed to the degree that they were being harassed and not say as much as, hey, knock it off, or, you know, that's disrespectful, don't say that, you know, this is a public place, or, you know, anything at all. Anything at all. And people are gonna hate you, rate you, disagree or with you, try and drag you down, trash you and bash you, and it's just, depending on how you handle it is what makes you you and defines the strength that you have as a person. And I saw nothing in that line but cowards. And I really, really cannot stress enough, like, how heated I was. Now, did I yell and cuss and anything else? No. I was completely nice about it, which anybody that knows me knows that is extremely difficult for me to come by, because I have a very nasty temper, and I will let you in on a piece of my mind if you ask me. And anyway, I made a choice to say something, and I wanted to put this out there for anybody else that may be struggling or feels alone or anything of that nature. I want you to know that you're not alone. There are people like me that are going to stand up and say something, regardless of how many people are around or who's going to hear them. I don't care. That's fine. If you want to try and make me feel less worthy as a human being, go ahead. You can try all you want. But at the end of the day, I'm content with myself. I'm content with, you know, who I have in my life, and anybody else that wants to try and step in and say anything negative can get the fuck out, because I don't have room for anybody in my life that's that way, and I wanted somebody to just say something. And I want anybody that has ever seen anything like this to please say something, because you all talk about how you want change, you want this, you want that. Well, it's not going to happen just by wishing on stars, okay? You're going to have to do something about it. And I can't stress enough the fact that, like, it just takes one person to say something or to start something, because being alone standing is so much harder than having somebody like 5, 6, 7 people, 1,000 people behind you saying the same thing. And it'll always be a challenge for anybody to say anything that's going to piss anybody off, at least in my area, just because a lot of people are very conservative and very, what's the word that I want to use? Ignorant would probably be an appropriate word. I have the biggest heart, but I have the nastiest temper. And I will help anybody that comes to me and asks for help. If you ever wanted to talk about something, I'm always there to lend an ear, and a very unbiased ear at that. And I don't want anybody to feel inferior or feel like that nobody cares, because I care. I'm a stranger and I care. And I would hope that somebody else would do what I did and agree with the choice that I made to say something. And this video might be pointless, it might affect somebody, it might piss somebody off, but I really don't care, because this is something I'm absolutely not ashamed of, and I just hope that somebody else, instead of talking about change, they'll actually make a change, or I'm hoping that they will actually put forth an effort to make a change. So I'm just one person trying to reach out to somebody that will listen, or that will decide to take that step into the right direction by putting themselves on the line, exposing themselves more than what most people do these days. And I would hope that you would judge less and love more, honestly. And as cliche as that sounds, you know, love is very unbiased. It doesn't go by race. And technically there's only one race, and that's the human race. We're all human beings, and no one deserves to be shunned or mistreated or harassed or bullied or made feel like they're shit because of what they choose or who they choose. And love is very rare and very hard to witness something that two people being very in love. And if you get to see that, then just, you know, you need to just chill out for a minute and appreciate that they found somebody that they can love and that loves them and accepts them for them, especially in a world that's very unaccepting. I would hope that more people would start acting like they gave a shit, and that it will never happen to me or whoever is watching this. I would hope that you would never be put in that situation where you were made to feel like shit. So, but that's really all I wanted to say.